Hi, Chargers. Welcome back. How'd it go with your planning for poetry? I hope you have lots of different ideas for how to start poems and that you never feel scared when you sit in front of a blank piece of paper. We're going to get started today with the first one of the 4 lessons behind me. These are like the central ideas for both reading and writing poetry. And the one today is called Poet's Vision, Visión del poeta. Los poetas no miran las cosas de la forma normal. Usamos la visión del poeta, the poet's vision, to see things in a new and interesting way. Let me show you. I told you that poems hide in all kinds of things and that you just need to study them to find the poems. So this boy is looking at a leaf and he's like, where's the poem, Coach Leela? You told me that there was poems hidden in everything and I just see a leaf. Well, what I want to tell this boy is that he needs to first start looking at it like a scientist. He needs to really examine the object in detail. So when you look at something like a scientist, you look very close to it and you zoom in and you describe it with all the different types of details that you can. And you keep going and saying more and more and more about the object. So how it feels in your hand, what it looks like, it's light, it's soft. When I hold it up to the light, I can see other little lines. It comes together in a kind of nub that has a little almost thing that looks like a thorn inside of it. There's different veins that break off into smaller veins. The end is curved in this shape that it comes to a point. So you really look closely like a scientist. And then after that, you become a poet with poet's vision, okay? And you think about what that object could be like using your imagination and your heart. So it could be like a boat for dust or a cake for bugs. What else could a leaf be? A parachute for an ant or clothes for a tree. Poet's vision is all about seeing something in a new or different way. So when I am using my poet's vision on this leaf, when I got to this part that looked curved, I immediately thought, oh, it kind of looks like a beak of a bird. So I could say this leaf is a bird beak, or it looks like rivers, actually. These little lines kind of look like rivers, yeah? So poet's vision is this: when I see something in a new or interesting way. When I use the word like or as, that's called a simile. When I just say it is something, that's a metaphor. And when I say that it has characteristics like a person, that's called personification. Let's take a look at how some other poets have done poet's vision in their work. So this poem by Zoe Ryder White, the first one, Pencil Sharpener, she says, I think there are 100 bees inside the pencil sharpener, and they buzz and buzz and buzz until my point is sharp. Now, are there really bees inside the pencil sharpener? No, but she's using her poet's vision. She's thinking about the sound, and she's thinking, it's like bees. Here she says, the ceiling is the sky for the classroom. That's a metaphor because she's comparing the ceiling to the sky. Is the ceiling really the sky? No, but she's making a comparison. Here, Maria Elena Walsh says, La luna es de queso. Is the moon really made of cheese? No, she's using her poet's vision. If you're in 5th grade, you might remember that this author came to visit us. Yeah, he came to visit us this year at our school, and he wrote this book about salsa. Remember how in the last video I told you that the kitchen and recipes are a great place to find poems? Well, here he has some incredible examples of poet's vision. He says, there are hot green chilies. One bite and we turn into fireflies. They don't really turn into fireflies, but it's poet's vision. He says there are chilies with faces like a grandfather. That's a simile because it says like, and it says faces. Chilies have faces. Do chilies really have faces? No, people have faces, but that's something poets do. It's called personification. Over here in this other poem that I love so much, he talks about an onion is a maraca. Cloves of garlic are trumpets. Cilantro is the orchestra conductor with his shaggy green hair. Whoa, that is a lot of poet's vision in this poem, because he's saying that cilantro, he's making it personification, saying it has shaggy green hair. He's saying the onion is a maraca. That's a metaphor. Wow, that's a lot of interesting examples of poet's vision. Now, I want us to try it together. So I want you to go get an object. Maybe in my last video, you heard me say you should get objects to start poems. Well, I want you to go get an object, and we're going to do poet's vision together. So go ahead. I'm going to wait for you. Go find something. It can be anything in your house. All right, anything from your poetry collection. Got it? Okay. So first, I'm going to start looking at my object with science vision, describing it just like a scientist in detail. Okay, it's heavy, it's rough, it has little crags in it, the color changes, right? I want you to do the same thing. I'm setting up my paper like this so I can write science vision and then poet's vision. So you do the same thing with your object. See it like a scientist. I'm going to do my writing here. So my rock is heavy, it's gray, it's rough, it changes color. Okay. Did you do it? See your object with science vision? Now change it out and see it with poet's vision. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, my object. Heavy, like, what else is heavy? Well, in these days, I kind of feel like time is heavy because we're spending so much time indoors in quarantine. Heavy like time. The rock is heavy like my time during quarantine. The rock is, what else is rough and gray? Oh, an elephant. The rock is an elephant. I'm going to write some of these ideas down on the side about poet's vision. My rock is heavy like time. It's like an elephant. Okay. Could you do the same thing with your object? See it now with poet's vision through your heart, through your imagination. Poets. Today, when you go and do your reading, I want you to study examples of how other poets have used poet's vision and collect them so you can share them with your classmates, your family, your teacher, just like the poems that we looked at today. And then when you do your writing, I want you to first be a scientist and zoom in and write lots of details, and then put on your poet's vision and see that in a new way. All right. I cannot wait to see what you come up with, and I'll see you next time. Good luck using your poet's vision. Have fun.